Alright, hello everyone, Nadia Gurwal here, single mom of 8-year-old triplets and a 6-year-old, and make sure to follow me on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, my podcast Anchor, YouTube, of course, one of my favorites, and I don't know if I'm missing any, I might, but anyway, yes, like I was saying, I'm on most platforms, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. So today what I wanted to talk about on my video was a little bit different than what I've been putting on there, which I've been putting modeling stuff and self-confidence and raising kids and my divorce. So if you've been on my journey with me, you know like what I usually talk about. Today I'm going to talk about my dating. Yeah, my journey dating. And I can kind of like laugh about it a little bit, but it's been really challenging also. As most of you know, like I got divorced 8 months ago. I was separated for over 2.5 years, and I started dating like after I got separated because I wanted to have someone in my life. I didn't want to be alone. But anyway, regardless of why I started dating. So today, actually, I'm doing like a few videos right before I go out on my third date with someone. For me to reach actually like a third date with someone, it's a little bit rare lately. I'll do one, the most will be 2, but 3 doesn't happen that often. And I have to tell you that this guy, I don't see that much potential in it, but I might be wrong. Who knows? We'll see how it goes later. But so this, dating thing has been very, like I said, one thing like I've taken away from dating is that it's helped me grow. It's helped me also, have posture and learn how to, value myself. And also another very important aspect to it is that I learned that I love myself more than them. Basically, I love myself way more. So, okay. I've met, right, I've been on like a lot of dates, a lot. When I say a lot. And I would say that, at this point, I'm like towards like the point where I'm like really tired of it already, because I keep going on dates that like lead nowhere. And after a while, that is kind of like exhausting and tiring. And then you start thinking, right, is there like will it ever happen? Is there really someone out there for me? I've asked myself that many times, and I'm like disgusted with the whole dating. Then I try it again, then I get off, then I try it, and but anyway, okay, so today, right, I'm gonna talk about 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer video. Talk about 3 guys, all right, and I actually did a podcast on this. 3 guys that that are memorable in my dating world, okay? So the first one, right, was, so this guy I met actually through Tinder at the end of 2017. And I remember so vividly because it was a few weeks before I was scheduled to have my tummy tuck. I met him off Tinder and I really liked them and I felt like we connected, but there was a big but to this guy. We met at a Starbucks, we had coffee, and then he told me, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, oh no, here it comes, And he says to me, I want to let you know, he goes, that I have a girlfriend. He goes, but I plan on leaving her. I said, oh, really? So why haven't you left her? And he says to me, because, he goes, every time he says that I try to leave her, she gets like really upset and she starts crying a lot. And then I feel bad and I just can't do it. He goes, but I'm really not happy with her and I have every intention of leaving her. And I said, okay, so what's like the plan here? You know, what's the timetable of you leaving her? And he says, I really don't know. He goes, I can't promise you when I'm gonna do it. He goes, I'm gonna do it, I just don't know when. And you know, I had a lot of like issues with this whole setup, right? First of all, like, I don't share. I'm never gonna be number 3. I'm always gonna be number 1. Basically, I would have been number 3 in the relationship. No. And then another thing I felt bad about was like, this woman, you know, is thinking that he is faithful to her and he's really not. And what he's doing is cheating on her with me. And I couldn't stomach that. I just couldn't, because then I thought, like, what if, you know, that person was me? What if I was the one that they were doing this to? I wouldn't like it at all. So I just couldn't, you know, as much as I liked them, as much as I felt like we had connection, as much as I thought like I could see myself with him, I just couldn't go through it. And I told him, I said, look, I can't do it. I cannot share you. He says, well, he goes, will you wait for me? You know, will you wait for me while I break up with her and then we can be together? And I said, no, I can't. I can't. I go, if you're telling me, you know, you're going to do it by like, you know, next week or tomorrow, and you plan on, you know, moving out and having your separate life from her, then that's different. But if you're telling me that I don't know when this is going to happen, then that serves me no good. I said, I just can't do it. And so I let him go. I let him go. And, you know, it took me like a really long time to get over him. It took me months and months to get over him. I kept thinking, you know, at some point he's gonna like call me, he's gonna text me, he's gonna say, you know what, I did it, now we can be together. But guess what? That never happened. It never happened. So I knew, you know, that like I made the right decision in letting him go. And now it's even confirmed more, because it was so funny. But like a month ago, I think over a month ago, I did a podcast on him. This is like the first video that I'm doing on this, but I did a podcast. I did like what I'm talking about today on the video, I did it on podcast. And it was so crazy, like so surreal, because he like out of the blue sends me like a message through LinkedIn. And I was like, oh my god, that's like crazy, you know. And he's asking me like, you know, how am I doing, what have I been up to? And I'm like, oh, weird. I mean, by now I'm like completely over him, so done with him, so over him. And I said I was good, you know, that I finally got divorced, you know, that I moved into an apartment, and you know, I was adjusting and all that. Now, you know, to make the long story short here, the guy turned out to be a real jerk. A jerk. I mean, I don't know like what I saw in him. I mean, I definitely was like in a different place at the time when I was dating him till now. So he really wasn't like worth it. He just wasn't. So I was glad, you know, that I went with my instinct and that I didn't decide to wait, you know, be the third wheel and be cheated out of like a healthy relationship with someone, you know, something exclusive, just me and that person. Now the next guy I'm going to get into happened like a year ago, a little over a year ago. I met this one guy right through, I need a pillow. I need a pillow, I can't find one in my bag. I had a pillow around here. All right, so this guy, right, I met him, like I said, through Facebook. Did you guys know that Facebook is a meat market also? Just in case you didn't know, it is. So I met him, like I said, through Messenger. He friend requested me, and I accepted. And he started chatting with me, and he says, I really want to meet you. And I was like, I really wasn't like keen on it, but I said, you know what, I'm open. I'm open to meeting, a lot of people, because you just never know what can come from it. So we met, we had dinner. He actually lived I believe he still lives in the Bronx, from Ecuador, like me, around my age also, has kids, but is single, obviously. I'm never making that mistake again. So he came down to Stanford. We had dinner, and I chatted with him. And I really wasn't like sure at that point, like if I wanted to see him again, if I wanted something with him, if I wanted to have a friendship or more than that. I wasn't sure. And he told me, he goes, I want to see you again. And I said, okay. And he says, he goes, I want us to go out dancing, have a good time, have drinks. I said, sure. And he says, I'm going to come down again. I said, okay. And I was like, let's see if they promise and overpromise, and sometimes they just never really go through with it. They get caught up in the moment, and they don't know what to say. And what they say is stupid at times. But actually, he did come. He did. He came, I think, like a week and a half after that. He came on the train on a Friday, and we did go out dancing. We had drinks, we had dinner, and I had a really good time. And I was hooked. After that. I was hooked. I was like, oh boy, this guy, I really like him. I liked him a lot. I mean, just like, I loved his personality. I loved he was go-getter. He was driven. He was very enthusiastic. Like, he was very charming. I loved everything about him. And I was like, I said to myself, I can see myself with this guy. I would like rearrange my whole schedule for him, because I was busy, 4 kids, and branding myself and building all this and that. And I was also going through a divorce at the time. So I told him, I said, I want to see you again. I go, I'd like to see you, like a couple times a week. And that's where it became a problem with him, because he didn't want that. He didn't. I believe he only wanted something very casual, like more of like an FWB, friends with benefits. And I couldn't handle it. I was hooked, and I liked him, and I wanted to see him. I could see myself with him, living together. I mean, like, I was so crazy about him, I would have married him. That's how crazy I was about this guy. And I told him, I said, I want to see you a couple times a week. And he's like, oh, no. He goes, I can't do that. And I said, why not? Like, why can't you not? I said to him, don't you like me? Don't you want to be with me? And he says, yeah. He goes, but you're going too quick. He goes, he says to me, I just want to slow it down. And I said, quick? I go, by seeing you like 2 to 3 times a week? I go, that's quick. And I told him, like, how am I supposed to get to know you? Like, how am I supposed to, how are we going to build something? Like, if I don't see you. I mean, if I only see you maybe once every 2 weeks or stuff like that. And he goes, no. He goes, I'm busy. He goes, I just can't do that. He goes, I can't commit to that right now. But the thing was, about him, that, like, he wouldn't let me go either. He wouldn't. It's not like he told me, right, you know what, I can't commit to that right now. I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to bother you anymore. No, he kept, like, text messaging me and stuff like that. And I was thinking, like, he just needs a little more time to come around. If he doesn't see me for a while, he'll miss me and he'll want to see me. That never happened. I have to tell you that with this guy was the one that, like, I really agonized a lot about. I had a lot of anxiety over him, and I had a lot of anxiety over him because I never knew what I stood with him. Like, he kept giving me only little bits, and I wanted more and more and more from him, and he only gave me, like, little bits. And it was devastating to me. Like, I couldn't handle it. I was, now that I think back, Like, I was in love with him. I was in love with this guy. But I was in love with a fantasy because it was never going to happen. And he kept letting me down because he, like, 2 times, I kept deleting him off my Facebook. And then, he would, like, send me a friend request again. And then we start up again because I'm thinking, he's sending me a friend request, which means that, he has interest in me again and he wants to get together. But that wasn't the case. Like, I don't know what the fuck he wanted. I never knew, like, I could never get exactly, what he wanted, but he would tell me. He goes, you're like an exceptional, he knew how to rub me the right way. He said to me, you're like an exceptional woman. He goes, he said to me, I love everything about you. He goes, you're very special. He goes, you're a go-getter. We could build a life together. But, like, he would say all these things to me, but there was never no substance behind it. Like, it never happened. Like, he never did anything, right, to, like, have, like, a relationship with me. And I would get pissed, and I cried a lot. I cried a lot of this guy. And I would say to him, look, as much as, like, I told him, that this is making me upset and I'm depressed about it and I don't like it, I said to him, I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to beg you. I told him, I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to plead with you. I'm not going to get on my knees and ask and tell you to be with me. No. I go, if something is going to happen between us, it's just going to flow. It's going to flow. There's not going to be anything complicated, I said to him, and I'm not going to let you continue hurting me. I'm not. So I remember that went on for a while, a couple months. And I tried to be friends with him, like, on Facebook after, and I just couldn't. I couldn't because every time I see a post from him, every time I see a picture, like, it would just bring me back again, and I'd want something with him, and it would take me off also. So when I was moving into this apartment 4 months ago, right, I told him, I said, I'm moving into an apartment. I said, I'd like for you to come see me. I go, I'd like for you to come see the apartment. We can spend some time together and stuff like that. And he said, oh, yeah. He goes, I'll come, and this and that. I hope you celebrate. But of course he let me down again. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm done with his bullshit. I'm done with, like, his inconsistency. I'm done with his nonsense. I was done with being done. So I deleted him. But, that was a really hard pill to swallow. It really, really was. Because I liked him so much. I really liked him. Not that I liked him. I think I was in love with him because I could have married him. If he told me jump high, I would have said how high. How crazy I was about him. But anyways, yeah, I let him go. I cut him loose. That's the whole thing here, if something's not working out for you, you gotta just cut them loose, and cut them loose sooner than later. Don't let it continue dragging, because it's wasting your time, really. They're happy and content and they think everything is all cool, but it's really with them, but with you it's not, because you're suffering and they don't give a shit about it. The third guy that I'm going to get into is I met him on Tinder a year ago. It's going to be like a year, I believe. Yeah, or maybe, I think so. Yeah. And him, I met him for dinner. He lived in Connecticut. Also, single father of one boy. And, Hispanic guy. A little younger than me, but not too much younger. I met him for dinner one time. The first time I saw him. And actually it was a really long dinner because, like, the chemistry was so nice between me and him. Like, we just talked and drank and ate. And I felt, like, so comfortable with him. I liked him from the moment I met him. It wasn't like with the other one that I wasn't sure, we'll see, it was iffy. This guy was, like, on the spot. I liked him. I loved his personality also. I liked how respectful he was. You know, how he didn't like throw himself on me, how he never tried to touch me, how he praised me. He had a great sense of humor, loved the way he looked. Big guy, a big guy. Like I'm like 4'11". He was like 6'3", I think. Pretty big guy for me. The thing with him was that, okay, so I saw him, like I said, one time, and then I went on to see him several times after that, probably like 3 times after that. But on the one of the few last times that I saw him, I remember we had like a really nice dinner somewhere, and the waiter comes and says, you know, are you guys like celebrating anything today? Because usually when people go there, like they're celebrating something, and I'm thinking, yeah, but like, you know, we're celebrating our 3rd date, and it's been really good dating him, and but that's what I thought to myself. I didn't say it to the waiter, and this guy like just oh no, we're not, you know, celebrating anything, just dinner, and I'm like, oh, I knew I was fucked. I knew I was like screwed at that moment, even though I knew I was. So then, you know, after, before the date was over, I told him, I said, look, I go, I really like the way I feel with you. I told him, I like our vibe. I go, I really would like to see you more often. I go, I'd like to see you, you know, once or twice a week, because I knew he was busy, you know, in his job and his kid and all that. And, you know, he told me, he goes, I can't do that. I just can't. He goes, I'm busy, and I can't. And I said, why not? And he says, because, he goes, I just don't, he goes, I can't give you the kind of commitment, you know, that you're looking for. And he goes, I'll see you, you know, once in a while. And I was like, oh, and it just, you know, with this guy, there was like a lot of like back and forth with him, a lot. He was also the one who would not stay away from me. I was very upfront with him, and I would say to him, look, I'd say, as much as like I like you, I said to him, I can't just settle for little bits. When I want is more. I go, I deserve to have more, and you're not willing to give me that, so it's not going to work. And he's like, no. He goes, I still like you, and this and that. And you know, it was very difficult with him because he was so nice. He was so nice. Like, the guy was not a jerk. So it's not like I could say to him, like, go screw yourself, or, you know, you're an ass, or stuff like that, you know, because he was so respectful to me, and he was so nice. But I struggled with it, you know, a lot. And I would say to him, look, I'd say to him, I go, you're never going to see me begging you. I go, I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to plead with you. I said, I'm not going to tell you, you know, to come and be with me when you really don't feel it. I go, I'm just not, it's not going to happen. I go, I want to be with someone who wants the same thing as I do. And if that's, you know, I told him, not something that you want, then so be it. I go, so be it, but I'm going to be on my way and find it with, like, you know, someone else. And he would agree, yeah, I agree with you, yeah. That's the, you know, the way to go and all that. Because I would ask him, I said, I say to him, where do I stand with you? You know? I mean, could we have something? I mean, do you see yourself, like, having a relationship with me? And he'd say no. Flat out no. He'd say to me, no. He says, I don't have time for it. Okay, so this was his thing, right? I don't have time because he goes, let's see, I have my job, I have my gym, I have my kid, I have my house, I have my friends. So basically, like, I fell right at the end. And I'm like, I'm never going to be at the bottom. You know, I want to be a priority. And someone's like, not that I'm saying, you know, that I'm going to be more important than your kids, but I want to be up there. Like, I want the person to, you know, dedicate time to me also and put the effort into it. So he kept telling me no, and I kept, like, pulling away. And he kept, like, you know, messaging me, like, after a month. And then, and this was, like, I have to tell you that this was one of the very few guys, in addition to the guy that I talked about previously, where I kept hoping, right, that with time they would come around and, change their mind. So I thought, well, maybe if I wait a month, 2 months, maybe he'll miss me enough and he'll say, you know what, no, I don't want to lose her. I want to be with her. But his track record with me was always the same. Always. He was very consistent in giving me the same answer. I can't do it. I just don't have the time. I don't see myself. So I said, okay, all right, I get it. I'm not going to the last thing I'm going to do, and I can't force him either, but the last thing I'm going to do is force someone to be with me that doesn't want to. That's no fun. And I can't force him either to make time for me when he doesn't want to, So I actually did get to see him like 2 months ago. He came to the apartment, we had drinks and all that, and I asked him flat out. I said, so I told him, what's this thing with you about not committing? Really? I go, because that's what it is. It's like commitment-itis, like commitment phobia, like he just won't commit. And he says, he says, well, he goes, again, we got into like the busy card, because that's what it is, the busy card, where but this time it was more, It's like, well, he goes, I have my full-time job, and I have a part-time job on top of that. And I have my kid. And so it was like one thing after another, why, he couldn't been time for a relationship. And I gotta tell you that I know that when you want something, you are going to make the time for it regardless of how busy you are. Trust me, you're going to find the time from somewhere. So I knew he didn't want to. I knew he had like no intentions of like committing, and I couldn't force him. And then he said something like really interesting to me. He says, maybe, he goes, I'm just like, he says to me, maybe I just like to be alone. He goes, I just want to be a loner. Because I just want to live my life like that, where I have no commitment. I like to come and go as I please, and I don't want a relationship in my life. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's it then, That's it. Maybe that's just who he is. And I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I guess I believe that, because if you're telling me that, and that's how you feel, then, that probably has like, some truth to it. But hearing it was hard, because it's someone that I still had hope. Right, that he could be someone in my life. But then I realized, I told him, look, I said to him, I know in my gut, I know deep down inside, I told him that you're never going to commit to me. I told him, I know you're not. I mean, you haven't so far. We've been at this almost a year, less than a year by the time I saw him before. And you haven't. Nothing has changed. And he said to me, oh, you never know. It could happen. I said, no, don't. You know what? I said, don't give me that bullshit. I just don't give me that nonsense that you never know. No, the time is now. It's the present. So if you're not doing it now, then I'm not going to be around to find out, in the future, if you're going to commit to me or not. Okay, well, you know what? Who knows, right? Maybe if I'm single and he's still single and he wants to be with me and I'm single, it might work. But like, as of now, there is no possibility of me having something with him, because he's been, like, his track record has been very clear, very, very clear throughout all this time about not wanting a commitment, about not having the time, about not, making the effort. So I just let him go. I didn't message him anymore. I don't know if I'll ever hear from him again. But I'm certainly not going to wait around or see him here and there until he makes up his mind. And what if he never makes up his mind? What if he never does? Then I wasted like all this time and energy and effort, like, thinking, yes, it's going to happen when there's really nothing there. So, I will continue doing some videos on my dating. I have quite a few stories. I'll be getting them out little by little. But these three, really like stand out because they were, it's like they taught me something, but also they were difficult sort of like relationships, if you can call that being, Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please like, comment, and share. And if there's any kind of content that you'd like for me to talk about, just shoot me a message and I'd be more than happy to do a video on that. Okay? Thank you. Bye.